You're currently listening to my original series, Doing Big Things with Camille Little. Yes, pun intended. From the deepest of trenches to the highest of lands, art can be found anywhere. This show puts a spotlight on creatives from the underground as I talk with them about their unique journeys into the arts and the importance of creative expression. Last year, I had the privilege of interviewing one of my former classmates, Dante Turner. Tay had me on his show, On the Yard, so of course I had to return the favor by having him as a guest on mine. Tay is a graduate from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore and Texas Southern University, where he studied English and digital communications. Other than being a scholar, Tay is an entertainer and a professional party thrower. He used to be the mastermind behind the hottest campus events at UMES, and he continues to host parties across the DMV. In this episode, we talk about what it really takes to throw a party, his journey to becoming an entertainer, and some of our pop culture hot takes. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Well, thank you again for making the time. We have to run it back since doing, your interview.
Interview for interview just makes sense.
So you've been doing a lot of interviews lately. How are you energy wise of that?
I One thing about me when it comes to like talking, I can talk for days. I'm a conversationalist at heart. Um, and with the interviews, I guess because it's like project based for school, it's making me find new ways to like make every interview different.
Mm.
Which again just speaks to like my creativity. So I love it. I'm enjoying it to say the least.
No, that is so real. You bring up a really good point because I also have been doing, it seems like since I've graduated, I've been doing interviews after interviews for whatever reason, whether it's for my podcast or it's for work, because I was interviewing people for work too. And it's like once you do it so much, it's like start to find new ways to make it different because it gets really monotonous really quickly.
Yeah, and I think because again we're in this like digital age where everything is we're posting everything that we're doing. I don't want anything to sound like what just happened last week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you just heard last week, I don't want that to be the same sound, the same vibe you get this week. I want it to be different.
Absolutely. Well, I forgot to do the whole intro thing. This is Doing Big Things with Camille Little, and today I have a very special guest running it back. Please tell the people what your name is and what do you do?
I mean, where do I start? Um, my name is Dante Turner, informally known as Tay, Tay the host if you pay me. And just, I kind of got my hand in a lot of different pots right now, but like, I guess the main thing I do is MCing slash hosting for events. And I mean, that can range from like parties to like clubs to baby showers to open mic nights. It really doesn't matter. It has no limits. Um, and yeah, that's really my main side hustle, I'll say. That's my main thing that like I usually work towards right now.
I would love to learn more about that, like hosting parties. And do you DJ as well?
Professionally, no. For,
Professionally, no.
for
Okay.
I play a lot behind the DJ table, and I guess that's just because I'm so familiar with like standing right there and seeing the DJs press the buttons and all that, and I kind of just like, okay, why I could do this too, and then just play around. But as far as like throwing events and parties and like hosting and stuff like that, to me, it speaks to my creativity. I'll say that. Like it sounds so like plain when you say it, but like the work that actually goes into doing a successful event, I'll say, and even in the MC or the curation aspect of it, is such like detailed, like from top to bottom, you have to know what you want to do with the event. It could be parties, it could be something else where it's like a speaking engagement or something like that. You just have to know what you want to do from top to bottom. Um, Input your ideas, and if like you have the opportunity, bounce those ideas off of people, and if it makes sense for like that specific event, then you go full-fledged with it. And a lot of the times I get to do those things, and I think it's because I've been doing this for a little minute now. So I have experience. I have like, the resume when it comes to how to throw the parties and stuff like that. And yeah, like it sounds so vanilla, but it really is like It's so like it's a lot like on the inside, like having to talk to venues, having to talk to other promoters, having to, pray and hope that everybody really does love you and shows up to your event and stuff like that. It is a lot that goes into it instead of like, just showing up and hopping on the mic and being drunk for 2 hours. It's, it's a,
That's a great job description.
yeah. That's really, I told my mother when she really found out like that I was really doing it, she was like, "Oh, so you get paid to drink and be on the mic."
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, yes, but in a way, it's like it's certain other aspects to it. But no, yeah.
That sounds really hard, actually. Like, on top of the planning, but when you're actually being there and like you are participating in the party, but you also have to think about being present and doing the hosting thing
Yeah,
while intoxicated, probably. Like,
that is like it feels like you're juggling so many things in one like specific area. It can become a lot at times. Even when I was doing it at UMES, it was like I was the one who, like, when I was camp president, I was the one who was throwing the parties. My organization was throwing the parties, but I'm not going to take the fun away from my members. I want them to enjoy themselves. We worked really hard to put it together. So if all the weight has to be on my shoulders and the rest of my e-board shoulders, then we'll do that. And it, like you said, it does sound difficult because it was difficult at times to like be the one on the mic, having to like, interact, make sure that everybody's having a good time and stuff like that. But then while also making sure that the logistics of the party and the logistics of the event were actually running smoothly. So like when I was on campus, I was doing a lot of like running back and forth here and there, making sure that everybody was taken care of and stuff like that. But on the outside of UMES, when I'm doing it um, at home, it's still kind of the same way, but it's just not on. 'Cause I feel like doing it in college was harder. I'm not gonna lie, like trying to juggle academics, trying to please the entire campus and stuff like that. Doing it outside of that capacity, it feels like, hey, I'm throwing an event. Do you want to come or do you not want to
uh,
come? And like people show up, but it's like when they show up, like they're guaranteed to have a good time. Like I don't know. It's just the dynamic is definitely different than on campus and outside of it.
no, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you are doing double duty naturally, being a student and throwing a student event. So, like
Yeah.
you said, there's a lot of things to juggle, and I can only imagine. What would you say? Do you have like any stories as far as like one of the most problematic planning for a party, like a story where you're just like, this went so bad.
So perfect, perfect example. And it was when I was on campus. Um, when I was camp president in like the fall semester of my presidency, we did Club Inferno, which was like the first time we've ever done like a club themed party at UMES. So we had like fake sections, we had fake bottles, we had fake bottle girls, like we had the whole nine. Like it was set up perfectly. Like we spent the entire day in the SSC bringing all the couches from upstairs to downstairs because nobody else was doing it but us. So like just logistically, I thought I had all my ducks in a row leading up into the party. So then the party happens and I mean, it was just a bad night for the campus. I don't know. It was fighting. People were showing up without their hall cards, so it was confusion at the door. Then people were getting mad. Then you got drunk people showing up, and it's like you're showing up drunk, and we have administrators right here, so we can't really do too much. Then somebody even took it as far enough to actually start smoking inside the party, and I'm like, we're not in the actual club. Maybe we did too good of a job. Maybe this was way too convincing, but we're not actually in the club. So while I'm sitting there trying to like host and make sure the vibes is good, I have administrators in my ear tapping me like, "Hey, just so you know, this is going on, and if this keeps happening, then we're gonna have to shut it down." And I'm in my mind, I'm freaking out. Like I'm like, "Wait, I shut down. Like what's going on? Like I don't want that, especially not on my name. I really don't." So the night just progressed and it progressively just got worse. Like fights broke out left and right, and we had to end up shutting down the party. So I had to get on the mic, tell them I had to tell CJ to stop the music, and then after he stopped the music, all right, y'all, it was fun while we did, but we gotta go. And it was so early. I think we were only in there for like had to be 2 hours, but I think it was about to be. It was supposed to be four. I don't remember, but it was early. It really was. So that was like. something that I'll never forget, like at all.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that aspect too when you're planning a party for a school, like all the regulations that you have to follow. Because like there are a lot, like people can't just do drugs, but the one thing that UMES students will do is do drugs anywhere that they go.
I can't blame them at all.
But it does suck because like if you are like the facilitator of it, it's like you just want everything to go perfectly. You want people to be like act right. You know what I'm saying?
I will say UMES definitely taught me that like every event can't be a 10 out of 10. Like I definitely that's a takeaway that I'll never forget. Like I feel like um when it comes to anything that I create, anything that I'm a part of, I'm very hard on myself, like from the jump. Like from the inception of my ideas coming to life, I'm just very insecure and very like maybe this isn't the best idea and stuff like that. So it was a couple of events where like things didn't go right, or we had an idea that we pitched to administration that we thought was really good, and they shut it down. You know what I'm saying? We just had to live with that. So that definitely got me prepared for like the real promotional event curation stuff that I do now. Because it is still times where it's like I want to do something, but logistically it doesn't work, or I do something and not a lot of people show up. Um, and I kind of now I kind of just brush it off my shoulder, like,
Mhm.
okay, it happens. That was a lesson learned. Won't do that again. Let's try something else. Let's go back to the drawing board and stuff like that. So it definitely toughened up my skin a little bit when it came to this like event curation type of vibe.
No, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Like you said, I mean, just being an attendee at an event, not every party is going to be a hit, you know, and that's just like not how the world works. So I'm wondering for you, did being a host come first, like a host of a party, or did like media come first? Or did it like all happen in tandem?
For me, I'm gonna actually say I think the host. Nah, in tandem, because my freshman year is when I had my radio show at UMES, and I was so serious about it. Like I was dead serious. That was you couldn't tell me anything. Like that was the hottest radio show at UMES. That was yeah. We're Fox News. That's how I treated it. Like I was dead serious. So the I was doing a all well not all of the hosting, but like I had a host and a co-host my freshman year. Um, and I was doing the facilitation of it at first, like just behind the scenes work. But then that's when I started getting a mic, and that was like when I started interviewing all these different people that I've never talked to beforehand on the show. So like it was we had like kings and queens and stuff on there. We had the House of Legacy. We had the just a different array of people every week, and that is what kind of got me into hosting even more. So like parties and stuff. Like that's what got me into that realm because at first, like I was so stuck on like just the radio-esque hosting style. I still am today, but that that definitely pushed me into the arena where it's like, okay, maybe I can talk in front of people. Maybe I can, be a good time and stuff like that because my personality is just naturally energetic and humbly I say welcoming. So I definitely think that that translated into my host and MC's type style for the parties because like it's not that I don't have any shame. I hate saying that, but it's not that I don't have any shame. Like I'm just very friendly. I'm very like a good time, you know what I'm saying? I like to have a good time. I want to make sure that everybody else is having a good time. So that definitely relates to my work. But yeah, the media and the hosting kind of clash at the same exact time for me.
That makes a lot of sense. And I can second that. Like you have a very just welcoming personality. You're easy to talk to. And I think that's just like something that you have to have if you're in that space,
Yeah.
because that can just open the doors for you for anything. And I think media, that's the great thing about media. Like you can do hosting. People will hire you for hosting jobs if they see that you can talk well, like on a radio show or a podcast. So I think that makes a lot of sense how it happened, just in your journey. What has been your favorite part as far as, because you already talked about like the problematic side of planning and hosting and whatnot, but like when it comes to media or even just planning a party, like what has been your favorite part about it?
I, for me, there's one answer for both, and the one answer for both would be to see people have fun, like to see you enjoying yourself and actually being there in the moment with me. So in the media space, when I'm doing these interviews with for the podcast and stuff like that, I tell everybody I don't want you to treat this as an interview because this is not an interview. This is me and you having a conversation. We're talking. So don't be afraid to throw anything back at me. Don't be afraid to leave any question I ask you open ended. Whatever you feel, we'll bounce off of that. Like that's why I don't like to write too much when it comes to like planning for the podcast and stuff like that. I like to just, we're having a conversation, we're talking. And then in the event space, it really only works for me if I see everybody else having fun. Like I can have fun, I can be up there, I can be lit and everything like that. But when it comes to hosting, you have to feed off of people's energy. You can't just go off of what you think, is up here. Think you need to say on the mic or think you need to do. You have to really feed off of what the room is giving you. If the room is giving you nothing, then it's your job to give them something so then they can be like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's just like a little word or something, like something that's relatable that makes people laugh or chuckle or something like that. Something to just get the energy from here to here, you know? So yeah, for me, it's definitely just seeing people interact and having fun and just enjoying themselves.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I commend you for doing all of that. I mean, I love to talk like in like the one-on-one setting, but I don't know if I could ever see myself like doing like a whole event. Like that takes a lot of courage because like the energy is really depending on you, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it's definitely I'll say it's a skill that and again, it's probably gonna sound like a UMES love letter, but UMES definitely like got me to that point where like I do feel comfortable talking in front of like a big room of people and being that energy that they need. Um and it's more, I guess, sourced back to like when I had to take speech classes or whatever um at UMES, and it was at first I was like, okay, well we're just doing speeches, like I feel like I can talk in front of people, but it lets you learn that you have to read the room a lot more than what the average mind just thinks. Like we talk about reading the room a lot of the time, but do you actually know how to read the room? Do you actually know how to look at these people's faces and be like, they're not liking what I'm doing right now, so let me switch it up, or let me like take a break or something, come back. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have a sense of humility when you're doing speeches, when you're talking to somebody, or when you're hosting, you know what I'm saying, these events, because things could go wrong and people could not like what you're saying on the mic and people could not like the event in itself. You have to have a sense of humility that tells you like, let's back up for a second, look around, see what we can do, think quickly on your feet, you know what I'm saying? And move on from there. Don't just get hung up on the fact that the room is quiet or that the event is at a slow, steady pace. Like you need to think about, okay, so what do I do next? Like what's happening? How can I increase the liveliness of this event?
No, that is a true talent. And I do have to say, like, UMES, I feel like I've just not have only seen it with you, but people that have come even after you, I feel like UMES has really done a good job of nurturing people that they see like that can really bring something to the campus, like with energy. Like it, I don't know if you know who Elijah Speaks is.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Elijah.
He's like you're tethered. Like
Yeah.
he's like your twin. Like he was like the spawn of you, honestly. And then we also have RJ So Funny. Like we have personalities on campus that I feel like UMES has been putting them in places where they can really practice that craft and gain that skill to learn how to interact with the crowd. And I
Yeah.
think it's amazing.
Yeah. The For me, when I wasn't like the campus host or whatever, at the time, uh we already had, I think we had like two campus hosts. It was China and it was Jihad, and both of them did a really good job of like putting me in the field, like to test me out. You know what I'm saying? Because they were a class ahead of me, so they were about to leave. You know what I'm saying? So after they left, it was like, okay, so who's next? And they saw me have some sort of interest, and I was already, tiptoeing in student leadership and everything like that. And I'm very, like I said, outspoken in my personality, kind of just showed through with that. So like they definitely kind of took me under their wings and molded me into what I do today. So, big ups to them as always. And then the people that came after me, I hope that it was that same type of relationship when I was on campus. I hope that people were able to like look at me and and look to me when it came to the whole hosting thing and see that like, okay, you can do it, because that was my in the back of my head, that's what I wanted to do all along. Like, yes, I want to host, I want to be fun, I want to have fun, but I know that my time here at UMES is very borrowed. And I think that UMES is a very special place. And I think that if they don't have the next generation of people who are creative and who are the ones that want to get on the mic, are the ones that want to DJ, it could take us to a very dark place, and I don't want that for UMES. I think that it is a lot of creative spirits down there. And it might be just because of the environment that we are in. I think that UMES is so secluded from everything else that you have no choice but to like hone in on your craft in some sort of way. So I definitely think that it's needed. I love it.
I think it's important to have those kind of people because of just like basic, again, community. There would be no motive in getting together. Those are the people, the host and DJ are the people that why we are all here celebrating and whatnot. Well, first of all, I just need to say, like, now I kind of like wish I went to like one of your parties. I don't know if you like do any parties in Baltimore, but like you need to let me know.
No, I do. I want to start doing more creative events that like build community within Baltimore, because I feel like Baltimore is a very, very, very creative city. I feel like it's a lot of talent in Baltimore, and it just has to do with the fact that it's not really too many events there that I know of, at least, that that cater that. You know what I'm saying? Or it doesn't even have to be creative events. It could be just fun events that are not the club. I feel like I'm getting to that age, and showing my age here, I'm getting to that age where like I wanna start taking a step outside the club. I want to do more chill things, more things that don't require, all that. I just want to have fun, and in those creative spaces is where I seem to have the most fun. So I think that if I translate that into an event, I think it would definitely work out. I'm from Baltimore, born and raised, so I want to bring some more stuff like home. I want to be able to like, do some stuff in my area that's like, okay, I can get jiggy with this. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely be down for that. Like, no question.
I just want to know from your perspective though, like why do you think this is so important on top of community? What do you think it really, how does it impact culture to you?
Think that, oh God, I think that the creatives run the culture. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I think creatives in general, if you fall into that category, you run the culture. You have some sort of power behind whatever you're doing, whether that's fashion, music, the digital media space with content creation, anything like that, you have some sort of power to say something. And there are a lot of messages out there in the creative field already, but I think it's very rare that we get the opportunity to make one stick, if that makes sense. So like I feel like the messages that we have in the creative community already, like, the religious messages, the government related messages, these are messages that we see and have been seeing for a while now. And it's like, okay, they kind of come and go at times. Like, everybody has their phases where like they phase in and phase out. But I want it to be where we create something that everything just sticks. Everything that people create sticks, and it stays there, and they can build on it and continuously build on it, instead of like putting something out and then stepping away. You know what I'm saying? Or putting something out and then like disappearing for like 2, 3 months. I want to build. So I think that in reference to the culture, I definitely think that creatives have a lot of power in it. I think that if it comes with consistency, um, it comes with networking is important too. Like, I feel like all that, because it just creates more opportunities for people who are thinking about being creative to come into the space. Like, people are scared to do certain things that they are thinking about. If they're thinking about getting into fashion, they might be scared because they don't know where to start. So then, if we support somebody who's already in that area, they can probably lay the blueprint out for the people behind them. The same with me when it comes to the hosting stuff. I don't want to be hosting until I'm 40.
Yeah. I mean,
I
you
want
would.
like, I want to lay the blueprint. I want to lay the foundation. Do my work, do what I do, have a good time while doing it, but also creating a window for somebody to look into and be like, okay, I see what he did. I think I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And not even and go past just think you can do it. I'm going to start doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pick up a microphone and I'm going to do it. I want to create these blueprints for people to look into and take their step.
Absolutely. And I think that's also why I started doing big things, is because I know for me, before I even went to college, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. I know I did have an interest in media, but I didn't have anyone else around me that was doing that. So it was just kind of like I was going in blindly. And I know that if I had a mentor or someone else, like a peer that I felt like was doing the same thing, I probably would have had a much smoother ride. And I think me doing like interviewing people like you and putting that out there, letting other people see like there are people that are doing stuff that you want to do, it's really like opening the doors, especially not just for individuals, but for Black people in our community who don't really get the same opportunity as other people.
If we can make it easier for the next people to come in that want to do it and join that space, why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should have to be as difficult as it was for us for them. Like I feel like they should be able to, you know, come in and do what they want to do and show off their creative side. It does not take too much for it to get done. Like that's the whole defense that I just had with my committee when it came to my master's project. I didn't want to do a production where I'm sitting in the room and I have the newest camera, you know what I'm saying? And I got these people behind the screen that's, working on the audio. I wanted to just do it all myself. I want to do the promotional aspect. I want to do the interviews. I want to do the sound. I want to do every aspect that I can by myself to show other people that it's something that can be done. Like if you got a phone, make your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not difficult. It doesn't take too much. Like you don't have to have all the money in the world to be a creative. Like you can do it with what you have.
Talking about culture and all of that. I'm assuming since you're in media, you're kind of like a maybe a movie guy, TV guy.
I love movies. I love.
Okay. What about, are you like into like celebrity, like gossip culture?
It depends. I keep up where I can, but like I don't search for it if that makes sense. But like if I can keep up, I'll keep up.
I am the same way because when it's too much going on sometimes.
Yeah,
But
it'd be like the story that was I just saw like 3 weeks ago. Now it's more updates. Hold up, wait a second.
and that's the thing with media. I love it, but it's just like,
At times, we can be a
yeah.
little overbearing. It can be a little overbearing.
But I'm wondering if you like have any unpopular opinions surrounding topics that are like trending right now.
Kiki Palmer's podcast that she
Yes.
and she was supposed to do an episode with Jonathan Majors. And
Yeah, I did. Oh, Kiki. Oh, Kiki.
and she did. And I'm so sorry. I am a Kiki Palmer fan. Like I love Kiki Palmer. I think that as far as people that are close to our generation, relatively in the media space, I feel like she's dominating it. I feel like she's just Kiki Palmer. Like you know what I'm saying? Like come on now. In reference to this specific thing though, she dropped the ball. She dropped the ball for me. I'm sorry, she dropped the ball. I know what she was trying to do because it's like in media, you want to be the first person to hop on a story. You want to be the first person to like, sit down and have an honest conversation. Because I listen to her podcast. She does ask very hard hitting questions. She does get to the bottom of it. The stuff that we want to know, she does ask, which is why I think because her being from our generation, she knows what we want to hear. She knows what we want to ask and stuff like that. So like business wise, maybe that was like a smart move. But I think that just again in that digital media space, what you do as a big celebrity kind of sticks. I
Mhm.
don't know if that was the best choice for her. I don't think she should have even attempted that. She should have done somebody else. Anybody else.
Uh,
Because it's plenty of celebrities, but anybody else. I don't yeah, she dropped the ball with that one. Gotta be honest.
and I appreciate you like, because I also feel the same way. Like I love Kiki, and like you can love these celebrities and appreciate their work, but you can also like have criticism towards them and still
Yeah.
be a fan of them. And we can admit that like when something doesn't look right, we can say it don't look right.
Like
And that's why they scrapped it. But anyways, as you can probably tell, only have 1 minute left. So we're gonna wrap it up by playing a short game called This or That. So I'm gonna make you choose between two things, and I think you'll get it. So the first one is radio or podcasting.
Oh my God. I'm nervous. Radio.
Okay, okay. Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
That was fast. Okay, okay.
Uh,
No hesitation. Rap or R&B?
you know what? I'm gonna say R&B. I love rap, but R&B is starting to like get my mind focused lately. I don't know.
Being a guest or interviewing?
I like being a guest. Like this game, this is really fun. I never played nothing like this on my stuff, so I like this. I do like, yeah, I like being a guest.
Cool, cool, cool. And last one, Springfest or Homecoming
Oh my God.
at
Uh,
UMES.
when I was on the yard, Springfest, but now I'm off the yard, homecoming.
Uh, I feel you. I feel you. Well, thank you for indulging me in that game. And
Uh,
thank you again for being a guest. I can't wait to work with you.